It's cold, damp, and wet outside. You are in a hurry for something hearty and healthy. Stay tuned as we've got you covered on this episode of Mission Community Nutrition. Welcome to another episode of Mission Community Nutrition. We are presenting a two-part series entitled Soups and Stews, Hearty and Healthy in a Hurry. In this episode, we'll prepare two recipes that are sure to warm your soul. First, a traditional pho, and second, a pad thai soup. Again, and unfortunately, we are still in the pandemic. But bring along your soup spoon and join us virtually in the kitchen on this episode. Soups, hearty and healthy in a hurry. The first item on our menu today is a hearty and healthy, but tasty pho. Here to prepare our dish is Chef Scott Franklin. Scott, what are the ingredients and steps to complete this dish?
Thank you, Autumn. Today, we will need 2 onions, whole onions quartered. We will need 4 ounces of fresh ginger, which is about the size of a fingerling potato. We will need soy sauce. Today I've chosen an organic gluten-free soy sauce. 8 cloves of garlic, salt and pepper to taste. We will need a stick of cinnamon, 2 bay leaves. Our featured ingredient today is star anise. We will need 2 stars of star anise. We will need whole peppercorns. We'll need 6 cups of our immune boosting broth from episode 3. Our protein today will be chicken. This is roasted chicken. We have sliced green onions, sliced jalapenos, limes, bean sprouts, and cilantro. These are all used for our garnish. And we have ban pho noodles, which these are also called rice sticks. We will start with 2 pots today. In one pot, we will make our very, very flavorful stock for our soup. In the other pot, we will have boiling water for our noodles. So in our first pot, our stock pot, we will start with our broth from episode 3. To that, we will add our onions. Ginger, garlic, we're going to start with a little salt and pepper. We'll finish up with a little salt and pepper too, but we'll get just a little bit going in there for some flavor right now. About 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. We'll add all of our spices, our cinnamon stick, bay leaves, our 2 star anise, which these are really interesting. They have a very, very licorice flavor. And our peppercorns. So now that everything's in the pot, we are going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to reduce the temperature to a simmer and let it simmer for about 30 minutes. That's a great time to start prepping all of your garnish. So you cut your green onions like we've done here, slice your jalapenos, cut your limes, cilantro, and get your bean sprouts and your chicken ready to go. And then we're just going to add those to the bowl of soup and ladle the broth on top as soon as our broth is done. Also during this time, it's a great time to work on your noodles. So we're going to take our noodles, add them to our boiling water, and then, very simply, we're going to take the pot off and let it sit for 8 minutes while it softens up and gets ready for our soup.
Scott, you left a lot of ingredients whole. Will these be eaten with the broth or removed?
I am glad you asked that question. We're going to take the whole ingredients out of our stock as soon as we have all the flavor that we need out of all of them. So this is going to end up being almost clear broth that we're going to add all of our ingredients to. So with the rice noodles, you want to take care not to overcook them. One of the reasons why we did the method, it's more of a poach, where we brought the water to a boil and we added the noodles and then we immediately took the water off and let it basically steep for 8 minutes, was so we get a noodle that's cooked but not overcooked, because once we add it to our boiling broth, it's going to continue to cook for a few more minutes. So we've done that. Now we need to remove all of our big solids from our broth. So I'm just taking out all the big solids. We've let all these flavors steep now for half an hour, and we're going to try to get everything that's solid out of here and just have a very clear, amazing, flavorful broth for our pho. So this is the fun part. Now we get to assemble our soup, garnish it, and label our very, very nutritious, flavorful stock on top of it and serve. So we start with some noodles. Going to add chicken, but as we've talked about, you can use shrimp, you can use beef. Pho is originally a beef dish, and they use marrow out of the bones in it that gives it its flavor. So we did a vegetarian preparation today, so we were trying to add flavor with the star anise and things that's not traditionally in a pho, but we're trying to make it so many diets can use it. Green onion, we're going to add some jalapeno. Now once again, we've talked about it, you don't have to add jalapeno. I think it's a great part of the dish. You can certainly add as many as you would like. Cilantro. Add some bean sprouts. These are soybean sprouts. And then we're going to squeeze of lime at the very end. So now we have our bowl, and we're going to add our wonderful clear pho broth. Then we add a squeeze of lime. And here's our pho.
Let's review the ingredients for today's healthy and hearty pho. 2 medium onions, 4 ounces fresh ginger, 8 whole cloves of garlic, 1 cinnamon stick, 1½ tablespoons salt, pepper to taste, 1 tablespoon soy sauce, 2 bay leaves, 2 star anise, whole peppercorns, 2 pounds bon pho noodles, sometimes called rice sticks, 4 green onions, a 1/3 cup cilantro, 4 jalapenos, 2 limes, 6 cups of our immunity boosting broth, and 1 pound pre-cooked shredded chicken. As an optional garnish, you may also include bean sprouts. The second item on today's menu is a pad thai soup. Scott, what are the ingredients and steps needed to complete this recipe?
Well, Autumn, in this recipe, we have 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, a tablespoon of sesame oil, we have a jalapeno chopped and de-seeded, we have a 1/4 onion that's finely sliced, we have a 32-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Once again, we have organic gluten-free soy sauce, a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Our protein today is shrimp. We're using a pound of shrimp. We have rice sticks. These are a little different from the other rice sticks in that they're a pad thai rice stick, so it's a little bit thinner. And for our garnish, we have green onions, bean sprouts, slices of lime, and some crushed peanuts. And again, we are using 6 cups of our immune boosting chicken broth from episode 3. In a large pot, we add the avocado oil and the sesame oil and the jalapenos and the onions. We're going to stir these over a medium heat for about 5 to 6 minutes, or until the onions and jalapenos are tender. So next we stir in our crushed tomatoes. Add the peanut butter. And the organic soy sauce. And we're going to heat all these ingredients up and just get everything hot. And then we're going to add our stock and our shrimp. So give this just a moment.
Scott, in my experience, jalapenos can vary in spice level. If someone's not a fan of spice, can they leave this out of the recipe?
Absolutely. You can leave it out entirely. When you cook the jalapenos, they have a tendency to mellow out just a little bit, but also if you're a person that likes spice, you can add more. So now that this is heated, we are going to add our chicken stock and our shrimp. Now we're going to cook uncovered for about 15 minutes until our shrimp is cooked. And then we're going to add our noodles. Lastly, we add our noodles and a little bit of salt and pepper. And we're going to cook this for about 4 to 6 minutes, stirring constantly until our noodles are tender. And then we're going to plate it up and eat. So now our noodles are done. So all that's left is to plate and eat. So we're going to take some noodles. If I can get them all in there. Add some soup. And now we are going to garnish with some green onion, bean sprouts, a little bit of crushed up peanuts, and lastly finish it with a little squeeze of lime. And there you have it.
Let's review today's healthy and hearty pad thai soup. 1 tablespoon sesame oil, 1/4 of an onion, 1 jalapeno pepper, 28-ounce can, no salt added crushed tomatoes, 1/2 cup creamy peanut butter, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 6 cups immunity boosting broth, 1 pound shrimp, 6 ounces uncooked thick rice noodles, 1 cup bean sprouts, 4 green onions, and optionally chopped peanuts and lime wedges. Here to talk about the nutrients of today's recipes is our dietitian, Jessica Bean. Jessica, can you share with us some of the nutrients in today's recipes?
Thank you, Scott and Autumn, for introducing such wonderful food creations that are both easy to make and healthy to enjoy. Let's take a minute to actually examine all of the different foods, all of which are packed with nutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, which are those healthy plant chemicals, antioxidants, but are also really low in calories, so we can enjoy them. And as far as pho goes, with the broth is really high in collagen, and it's highly nutritious in amino acids as well as iron. And so when you're consuming the pho and it is simmering in that bone broth, you really get the benefit of that. Broth is rich in vitamins and minerals, including calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, selenium, and then also in vitamins A and K. So what does that mean? What do those vitamins and minerals actually do as a benefit? They're beneficial for your joints to where you can actually reduce inflammation. You get a really good immunity boost from broth and probiotics that help your digestive system, reducing inflammation, healing the gut, and you may even get better sleep and better rest. So if you have it in the evening, you might notice the next morning you wake up more rested. And as far as garlic, ginger, and turmeric that we're adding into our broth, I want to have you kind of consider these as being our immunity triplets. So all three, garlic, ginger, and turmeric, all help boost your immunity. And specifically, garlic is beneficial for the heart, the liver, helps counteract edema or conditions of fluid retention, maybe moisture in the lungs. So it's really good to help fight those symptoms of a cold. With ginger is beneficial again for your immunity, but also for your lungs and your stomach and digestion specifically. It can actually help with motion sickness, can improve conditions of arthritis, can help improve blood circulation, and it counteracts those cold symptoms similar to the garlic. And then lastly, turmeric. Turmeric is kind of a combo of both the garlic and ginger as far as the benefits that it brings. Not only does it help with immunity and the lungs and the heart, but it also helps the stomach, can improve blood circulation, can actually reduce bad blood cholesterol, and it's a powerful anti-inflammatory, so it has cancer protection, specifically for the prostate and the breast. And then let's talk just briefly about the spices that we're going to add to either our pho or that we're adding to our pad thai soup. So you can jazz it up based on the spice level that you can tolerate. And if you throw in the jalapenos or some sriracha sauce or whatever your seasonings are, the chili peppers, those are all going to continue to boost immunity, help speed up your metabolism, make your blood circulate better, can clear your sinuses, improve your respiratory function. So do spice it up if you can tolerate it to get that added benefit. And lastly, I want to say, when it comes to making these soups, you can have fun with it, play, do different proteins. So whether it's using tofu or chicken, shrimp, whitefish, those are all leaner selections that are healthier, lower in cholesterol, lower in saturated fat than the beef and the pork would be considered. But you can still change it up to get a variety of amino acids and the different benefits and flavors from the different proteins. So enjoy and have fun with the pho, with the pad thai. These are easy recipes to make, quick ingredients to grab at the market, and so many benefits that you can enjoy better health, better sleep, better nutrition, and your body can be more vibrant. Cheers.
In our efforts to continue to educate you on nutrition, we are honored and privileged to welcome Washington State University's Extension program to the show. In each episode, WSU will be providing information on quality and quantities, as well as budgets and costs for the ingredients included in each of the meals. Joining us on the Mission Community Nutrition team is Jennifer Moss. Jen is a registered dietitian whose work focuses on food systems and increasing access to nutritious foods for under-resourced communities. This includes education on how to stretch food dollars to enhance a healthy and balanced lifestyle. Jen, welcome to Mission Community Nutrition. Please share your insights on the ingredients used for today's episode.
Making tasty and healthy meals doesn't have to be expensive. Chef Scott has made 2 delicious, flavorful soups today with lots of great ingredients. Sometimes when we head to the store to buy things we need for a recipe, it can feel overwhelming to get all the spices and special items that are needed. Planning ahead and shopping in certain ways can help with this. Here are some tips for eating healthy on a budget. Plan ahead. Planning your meals for the week allows you to save lots of money and is a great way to organize things in your kitchen. Choose meals that have similar ingredients so that you can use them more than once. Buying things in larger quantities brings the price per unit or item down. Make a list of all the ingredients you need and see where you can double or even triple up. And once you've made your list, stick to it. Impulse purchases eat into your budget and make it hard to stick to your healthy eating plan. Buy in bulk. Purchasing items in the bulk section is a great way to save money. For spices and other ingredients, you can buy small amounts to reduce your investment in just one recipe. Many stores have bulk spice sections where you can find the spices you used in today's recipes. Herbs, spices, and seasonings don't weigh very much, so you can usually buy just what you need rather than buying an entire container. This also saves space in your kitchen cupboard and avoids throwing away a bottle of spices that you have not used all the way. Bulk sections have more than just spices as well. Grains, nuts, beans, lentils, flour, and even oils can be purchased in bulk. Be sure to store bulk purchased items in an airtight container and away from light if possible. Consider alternatives. Recipes are a great roadmap to a delicious meal, but there's always room for detours and alternate routes along the way. There are great substitutions for many of the ingredients that are included in a recipe. For instance, if you aren't able to find star anise for today's recipe, Chinese 5-spice seasoning is a less expensive and easier to find as an alternative. A quick internet search of any ingredient will usually show a host of options for substituting. Also, swapping whole grain pasta or rice for noodles or plain white rice in a recipe adds extra fiber and other nutrients. Grow your own. Herbs can be grown in very small spaces and make a nice addition to your kitchen. Having access to fresh herbs at your fingertips allows you to add flavor to any recipe. Basil, oregano, thyme, and rosemary are all staples in many recipes. Don't be afraid to be creative to meet your budget. Have fun and enjoy yourself in the kitchen. It's the most important part of making your meals healthy and enjoyable.
Thank you for those insights, Jen. And to all of you, thank you again for joining us on Mission Community Nutrition. To find the recipes used on today's show and further information, please visit www.nutritiouscommunity.com. Support for Mission Community Nutrition comes from the following: Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, Washington State University Extension, Spectra, City of Federal Way.